Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today I'm going to be talking about pretty much DBOG, and this is probably one of the most important videos I've had to make lately, just because what happened. So let me go ahead and give you guys an idea of what happened during day 3 of the pretty much testing out the stat system from now to space. We actually got everything solved, every single bit solved about the stat system, everything that was wrong. And we actually got two people who showed up for that too, and it was Bobby and Gray. If you guys don't know Bobby, you probably know Bobby, and you probably know Gray. But Gray makes the game. Bobby produces the most videos on the game in general. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffed up today, but I have to release this as like soon as possible so people understand what's going to happen tomorrow. All right. So we do the series. We pretty much are like, okay, this is the deal. We have to figure out how things are in space. We have to figure out how things are in the Boo Saga, and then Gray joins us, and Bobby joins us, and they bring up. Gray brings up all the issues that pretty much happened and the reason why the game is the way it is. So one, I'm going to get through some of the details so I don't chew your ear off. I'm going to be dropping the VOD today as well. So if you guys want to see all the community questions he's answered, all the fun stuff we talked about, that's going to be where that's going to be. But I'm going to get to the most important details for players to understand before we actually talk about it, before we talk about the fun stuff and pretty much what I did during that time. Okay, so the most important thing is that the reason why stats feel so weird is because the level modifier and the world modifier are not adding up. So if you guys do recall, the world modifier was the thing that was implemented only days after the actual release of the Boo Saga update. This was something that was not exactly tuned correctly, they said, and Gray actually said that this is the way it works. He wants to get a little more detailed about that video when he drops his video on it, and that's going to be very important for people to check out. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what he told me. So there's a multiplier. It makes the bosses within certain areas stronger than you by so much. The bosses in the Sand Saga, they're stronger. They have the good multiplier. But once it gets to Android Saga, that's when the multiplier starts to get a little further and a little too much. Space Saga, it's super obvious that the multiplier is much larger than it should be. And then I'll be talking about space as I kind of get through this. And then we also have the Boo Saga, which for some reason had a times 7 multiplier, he said a times 7 multiplier. So a times 7 multiplier is absolutely insane. They also said that you better get used to this new stat system for the actual player because this new stat system is going to be the way that stats are going to be working. For now, there are some tweaks that they plan on doing to the stat system. So I would say do not worry about putting in stat points. Do not worry about you can save yourself some time by not even putting in stat points. I'll tell you that because stat points and every move in the game is going to be changed. Every move in the game is getting a full-on test rework so that they feel current with their saga, and that's very very important. So as long as you pay attention to those things, you'll notice that moves later on will be changed quite a bit, and those are some of the details we came across. Thank God they actually showed up and actually gave us some insight because this update is actually dropping tomorrow. So the world modifier and everything else is going to be fixed tomorrow, and then that's when we'll see a major change in space, the sagas. So I do want to wait. I'm not going to be streaming until Friday. So Friday, when this update does go live, we will be streaming, and we're pretty much going to be taking a look at uh, everything with no stats, and then from there test out the new stat system. I don't know if they plan on implementing anything crazy about the new stat system yet, because the uh, the skills still need to be reworked. So since skills still need to be reworked, that's going to be a whole thing. Uh, they just need a damage change, and it's quite obvious that some are just super high damaging and stuff. But all that testing's happening, I think, today. which is pretty cool. Now, my findings whenever I came down to the Space Saga, I'm going to make this short because, we already talked about pretty much the way that they're going to save DBOG and pretty much like change the way that the game's played. And when I got to space, some of the things I wanted to do was 1v1 Broly, see where I stood against him, fight another master again, see where I stood against him. And for some reason, the master did get a lot weaker because, as you remember in episode 2, we fought Goku master, or was that episode 1? One of the two. We fought the Goku master, and we were almost like we could barely kill him. Same thing with like Android 17, like they were a little stronger. Now, this Broly Master was all of a sudden like evened out, a lot better. Maybe there's a modifier with the Masters that's different, or a world modifier that's messing with it. I don't know. But that's something we never really got to cover. There's a lot of detailed stuff that we did cover, which I will be dropping the VOD for. But I don't want to get into too much because a lot of it was like goofy, and then a lot of it was like just talking about something completely different. So yeah. So when I fought Broly, the actual story for Broly, I was able to 1v1 him, defeat him, and pretty much win at 0 stats. Now this is where that modifier that we're talking about is too high. Now damage and HP, the modifier makes them I think like close to like 3 times stronger than us or beyond. So this modifier made us a lot weaker to characters like Broly. Hence why you're squishy. How everyone feels squishy this update, and I think we're going to see a massive difference after this update drops. But remember, skills are going to be completely different. Um, but with that being the case, right now we have pretty much the other one, which is going to be. I think we took on the Saiyan Saga. Yeah, that took a while to do, dude. Like everyone was tanky as heck. I didn't put a single point in, and it's just like it was just really, really tanky, man. Just really, really tanky mess. Besides that, after that, honestly, we went and pretty much decimated space after that because then we leveled up quite a bit. We almost got to level 400 in space. And once you get to level 400, you unlock your final form. I already have my legendary form, which I got in the other area, so pretty much I'm good there. But I will get the Beyond God form just for safekeeping, uh, because it's available, and I'll just master it really quickly. But besides that, right? My findings so far were exactly what Gray pretty much brought up, which was that the world modifiers were off, our levels were weaker than the world modifiers, and that was the conclusion we came down to. So, all this stuff's going to change, and we're going to have to remake the entire series, and I'm going to be holding a vote for what race that we got to freaking play in order to see, what's next. So, yeah, next, I'll see you guys when I make the vote. Take it easy in peace.